Enchanting in Minecraft is a core mechanic, enabling players to become harder to kill, gather resources faster, have better fighting ability, and in general, strengthen and improve their gear. In this video, I will show you how to set up your enchanting space. What are the tricks to getting the best enchantments? How to work with the Anvil to combine different enchants and much more. To set up your enchanting space, you will need the following items: 15 bookshelves, enchanting table, and some lapis. Bookshelves are made with books and planks of any type. For the books, you'll need a little bit above 2 stacks of sugarcane, which needs to be crafted into paper and then combined with leather. Then, you will need twice as much planks as the number of books you made, which should result in 90 planks, since the books needed a 45 or 3 for each bookshelf. The second item is, of course, the enchanting table itself. It is crafted with 4 obsidian blocks, which can be obtained by mining with a diamond pickaxe or can be found in some of the naturally generated structures in the game. Then you add 2 diamonds and 1 book to craft the table. Finally, you will need some lapis each time you enchant an item. The amount depends on the enchanting level. For level 1 enchantments, 1 lapis, level 2, 2 lapis, and level 3, 3 lapis. Place the bookshelves around a 3x3 space like so, and place the enchanting table in the middle here. You can stack the bookshelves on top of each other, but they cannot be blocked by another block because the enchanting table will not get their levels. Each bookshelf provides 2 levels to the enchanting table. That is why you need 15 bookshelves to reach the maximum level of 30. What you want to do to actually enchant things is to get an item and some lapis, where the item to be enchanted can be one of these here. Some of the items here cannot be enchanted directly and have to be combined with enchanted books in the Anvil, which we'll look at later in the video. The items you can enchant directly on the enchanting table are all kinds of armor, as well as turtle shells, swords, pickaxes, axes, hoes, shovels, bow, crossbow, trident, fishing rod, and books. To enchant an item, you just need to place it in the enchanting table, add the needed lapis, and pick the enchant you want. The level displayed to the right here is the level you need to have in order to enchant the item. The level on the left represents the levels that will be taken from you after the enchant. In almost all cases, you don't want to be enchanting items on anything but level 3 because the level 2 and level 1 are pretty bad most of the times. Enchanting an item can give you more than the displayed enchant. For instance, here it gave me Fortune 3, Efficiency 4, and Unbreaking 3. Every item in Minecraft has different enchantability. That means different items have different enchanting potential. For instance, stone tools have the worst enchantability, meaning they'll rarely receive the best enchantments. Diamond is second to worst, iron is next. The wooden and netherite are on the same level, and the best enchantability items are the golden ones, which doesn't really mean anything because they are so easy to break and useless for that reason. For armor, the ranking looks different. Iron armor pieces and turtle shell have the worst enchantability. Diamond armor is second to worst, then chainmail armor is in the middle, netherite and leather are in the same category, and the best is golden armor. In order to get your wanted enchant, you don't need to enchant a dozen of the same item until you get it. That will consume lots of levels. Instead, to reset the enchantments given, you can enchant a book or a lower grade item with a level 1 enchantment. This will only take 1 level from you and spare you resources to make another one of the items you want to enchant. Here's an example. Let's say I want to enchant my diamond sword. Now, on level 30, it gives me sharpness 4. If I enchant a stone sword on level 1, the enchantments for the diamond sword will refresh. You can do this as many times as you want until you are satisfied with the result. If you don't want to craft a tool every time you need a refresh, you can also use books. There are 3 types of enchantments: main enchantments, treasure enchantments, and curses. Curses are the following: Curse of Binding, which prevents you from removing items from the armor slots, and Curse of Vanishing, which makes items disappear instantly after you die. Now we'll take a look at the main enchantments that can be gotten from the enchanting table. The first one is efficiency, which makes tools break blocks faster. For axes, it also increases the chance to disable shields. Every tool except stone or diamond tools can receive the maximum level 5 efficiency through the enchanting table. Stone and diamond tools can receive maximum level 4, but you can combine 2 efficiency 4 tools in the anvil or a tool with efficiency 5 book in order to get the maximum of that enchantment. Fortune increases the number of items that are dropped when breaking blocks that are affected by it. This list shows the blocks that are affected by fortune when mining with a pickaxe and the average and maximum drops for each type. There are also these blocks in the chest that are affected by the fortune enchantment. Silk Touch causes certain blocks to drop themselves as items instead of their usual drops when mined. Unbreaking gives a chance for an item to avoid durability reduction when it is used, effectively increasing the item's durability and lifetime. Here is how a maxed out pickaxe will look, depending on whether you want Silk Touch or Fortune on it. Here's a maxed out axe, shovel, again with Fortune or Silk Touch swappable, and here is the hoe. I haven't forgotten about the fishing rod. Its possible enchantments are Luck of the Sea, Lure, as well as Unbreaking and Mending. Lure makes the time for something to bite a lot shorter, and Luck of the Sea increases your chance of catching loot like enchanted books. The next section of items are the weapons. Let's have a look at all the weapon enchantments. Sharpness makes swords and axes deal more damage to everything. Smite increases the damage to undead mobs like zombies, skeletons, wither skeletons, wither boss, strays, zombified piglins, drowners, husks, phantoms and more. Bane of Arthropods deals increased damage and applies slowness to spiders, cave spiders, silverfish, endermites and bees. Fire Aspect sets the target mob or player on fire when hit. Flame does the same, but is a bow enchantment. Knockback and Punch are relative to swords and bows for knocking back opponents. Looting increases mob loot. Power is the sharpness of bows. It basically increases damage dealt. Sweeping Edge is a sword enchantment that increases sweeping attack damage. Infinity prevents consumption of arrows for bows only. Multi-shot makes crossbows fire 3 arrows at once. Piercing enables bolts to pierce through multiple enemies, and Quick Charge does. Well, you can tell by the name. Channeling is a trident enchantment which enables lightning to fall on enemies during thunderstorms. Impaling increases damage against aquatic mobs. Loyalty makes your trident return after being thrown, and Riptide launches you with the trident when thrown while you're in water or rain. On with the armor enchantments. Protection adds bonus damage reduction from all sources. Blast Protection reduces damage taken from all explosions like TNT and creepers. Projectile Protection does the same for damage from arrows, thrown tridents, blaze fireballs and shulker bullets. Fire Protection reduces damage from all sources of fire like fire, lava, campfires and magma blocks, as well as reducing the burn duration. Respiration extends breathing time underwater. Aqua Affinity increases underwater mining speed. Thorns causes attacker mobs or players to take damage each time they hit you. Feather Falling is applied to boots and reduces fall damage, and Depth Strider makes you faster in water. These are the treasure enchantments. Mending is an enchantment applicable to all enchantable items, and not only. It repairs the item using experience that the player acquires. It can only be obtained from treasure chests or villager trading. Soul Speed is applied to boots and allows the player to walk quicker on soul sand and soul soil. It can only be obtained from loot chests in Bastion Remnants in the Nether, or when trading with piglins. Swift Sneak is applied to leggings and allows you to walk quicker while holding shift to sneak. It can be found inside ancient cities. Frostwalker creates ice blocks below you when you walk over water and makes you immune to damage from campfires and magma blocks. To craft an anvil, you'll need 31 iron ingots, of which 27 need to be crafted into blocks. The first way to use an anvil is to combine 2 of the same items. For instance, here I have 2 diamond swords, and after I combine them, 2 things are going to happen. The resulting sword is going to have durability equal to the sum of the 2 swords. Then, all the enchantments of the first sword will apply to the final sword, as well as all of the enchantments that can be combined with them from the second sword. If the 2 swords have, let's say, sharpness 3, the resulting sword will improve and have sharpness 4. That applies for all enchantments that have levels, but will work only if the input items enchantments are of the same level. You can also combine 2 enchanted books, in which case, if the enchantments are different, they will both apply to the final book. If they are the same and are of equal level, the final book will have a higher level of that enchantment. The third way is to combine any enchantable item with an enchanted book. Let's say I have this helmet on which I want to have Unbreaking 3. Adding both items in the anvil will apply that enchant to the helmet. Earlier, I mentioned that some enchantable items cannot be enchanted as you would normally on the enchanting table. These items can acquire enchantments only by combining them with books in the anvil. Shields, elytra, carved pumpkins, shears, flint and steel, and these fishing rods with either carrot or fungus on the end can be enchanted only through an anvil. Another thing you can do with an anvil is to repair items when combined with the material they're made of. For example, combining any diamond item with diamonds inside the anvil will repair that item. That applies also for other material armor, tools and weapons like iron, leather, gold and netherite. There are some items that are repaired differently, like the elytra, which is repaired by combining it with phantom membranes, turtle shell with scutes, and chainmail armor with iron ingots. You can also name different items to your liking, costing only 1 level. Here, I'll name this helmet something random, and it will appear however I named it from now on. Often, when you want to place lots of enchantments on a certain item, if you do it without any order and one by one adding them through the anvil, you can get to a point when the anvil says that the operation is too expensive to do and you wouldn't be able to get all the enchantments you want. In Minecraft, every time an item is worked on in the anvil, it gets progressively more expensive the next time you want to upgrade it. For that reason, wise people have created a website on which, if you enter the enchantments you want and the item you want them on, the site generates you a step-by-step guide on the order in which you have to do it, so you never stumble upon this too expensive sign anymore. There will be a link in the description for the site. Some enchantments cannot be on an item at the same time. On swords, you can have only one of these 3 enchants: Smite, Sharpness, and Bane of Arthropods. On bows, you cannot have Infinity and Mending at the same time. On boots, Frostwalker and Depth Strider are exclusive. On tridents, you can either have Riptide or Channeling. Same goes for Loyalty and Riptide. On tools, Fortune and Silk Touch. On armor pieces, you can have only one type of protection enchantment: Projectile, Fire, Blast, or Normal Protection. Finally come crossbows with piercing and multi-shot being mutually exclusive. If, for whatever reason, you want to get rid of an already existing enchantment, that's what the grindstone is used for. It removes all existing enchantments from an item except curses and gives you back some experience after. If you don't like the enchantment you got, place it in here, get some levels back, then go ahead and try enchanting it again. The grindstone is very easy to craft, using only a stone slab, 2 sticks and 2 planks. We've come to an end, and now you know everything about enchanting in Minecraft. If you liked this guide, click the like button, leave a comment on what guide I should do next, and maybe a subscribe if you want to see more tutorials like this.